that would be helpful for members of the body. Commissioner Link?
Yeah, I'll just state for the record that there is one of these houses operating in my neighborhood, like 3 across the street and 3 doors down from me. There are these types of residences are operating under the radar in single-family neighborhoods all over town, and it's operating in such a way that it doesn't disturb the neighborhood. You know, we do have adequate on-street parking, and I have had a very friendly, collegial. I know a couple of the residents of that street very, very well, and we've had, you know, very honest, upfront discussion about it, and they recognize the zoning situation where, yeah, this current RM1 zoning could have a worse impact if it were to be redeveloped as student housing or a fraternity house, or, you know, an under-the-radar fraternity house, which we see a lot. You know, I believe that we can come to some kind of compromise to assure that, you know, this facility, I mean, it's not even a facility, it's a home, you know, and they are supervised. I mean, you know, quite frankly, that home on my street is less disturbing than some of the homes that have families in them. You know, there is a family home on my street that has a relative that gets out of prison once in a while and takes up drug dealing again. That's not going on in this supervised facility. So I also believe, I want to echo Commissioner Meyer's concerns. We definitely need to take a look at our code, because there are some severe inequities that have been inflicted upon African American neighborhoods being laid over with this RM1 zoning. And I think this is one of those areas where, sure, why can't these go through the same exact process to be allowed in a single family zone neighborhood? Maybe we need to look at things like lot size and infrastructure accommodation, parking accommodation, on-site parking, you know, fencing, buffers, things like that, rather than simply the zoning of the area. You know, you know, these are highly organized organizations that help people in real need, and we have a terrible housing crisis, we have a terrible homelessness crisis. I'd rather see us open up our zoning code to accommodate these kinds of facilities in a real home situation, and assure that they're in places where the infrastructure is adequate and they're not likely to disturb the neighbors. You know, and like I said, over and over and over again, the most disturbing impact of these multi-adult households has everything to do with parking, whether it's a sober living recovery home, or a multi-bedroom student housing, or simply a family that has multiple adults living in the house.